Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is DK3005-007. 305007. It's been a morning. And today we're going to be going into SPY, taking a look at the changes that happened over the weekend, and talk about the rumors of war in Europe, tariffs, and Trump's special announcement at 11 a.m. Welcome to Free the Trade. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and jump straight into our pre-market analysis here. Hopefully this works again today. We had some issues last week when we tried to jump into the stream, so hopefully we're not going to have those issues again today. Who knows? Alrighty, here. All right, jumping straight into it. First, we're going to go to the CNC.com Markets Fear and Greed Index. Somebody cue the music for us. Thank you. All righty. And it looks like we have reached the 125-day moving average. We've bounced off of it, and we've started to increase. And this is the S&P 500, which is the SPX index. We are trading SPY, which is an ETF that tracks this index. And so our movement on our charts are going to be very similar to this. So bounced off the 125, we're making a recovery. So I think that we're going to see a great day today, almost guaranteed. Now, there are two things we should pay attention to. The first one being talks of World War III. The second one being tariffs. And then a secret announcement by Trump around 11 a.m. today. So could cause some additional volatility in the market, could cause a large market move later on today. But we'll have to play that one by ear because we don't know what's going on. Alrighty, looking here at the Fear and Greed Index, we're sitting at 20, which is the normal. It's up quite a bit from 17 of the end of last week. That's actually good news. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays a part in today's market. So definitely something to keep in mind there. You go ahead and make sure that everyone in the Discord knows that we're going live today. Hopefully that works. Let's go ahead and check this. Okay, looks like it is. And we are just going to check one last little thing here before we move on. Just trying to make sure that we don't have some of the same issues that we had last week. If I could get somebody in the chat to confirm that they can hear that things are doing well on that end, I would appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me well? Things going well out there in wherever you guys are. If you're in Europe, I hear things are not going great. Talks of World War III. That might actually cause some impact on the stock market today. We'll definitely be diving into that and discussing some of the developments that we've seen over the weekend. We're going to go ahead and ride with it for now. And just hope that it was a fluke or something. Yes, we love to see that. All right. So yes, our baseline for today on the Fear and Greed Index is going to be 20. Let's keep that in mind and jump straight into Robinhood Legend. All right. Definitely seeing a lot of green moving up towards market open. Looks like it's starting to correct and dip down at this time on the 30-second as well as on the 1-minute chart. Still got a lot of momentum and strength in that. That's some good stuff there. Let's take a look at our 5 and 15, our 5 and 30. All right. Once again, a lot of strength going into this 594.07. We have hit a high of 594.72. It's pretty remarkable. We are definitely going to want to track the 595 price level at market open. That's going to be our first resistance level that we need to push through in order to see a really great long bull run. Momentum reversing from Crypto Reverse News. DK, what are your thoughts today? I don't know if you're in the stream, Frank, but I'm thinking we may see some long upward momentum this morning. Maybe opening right at red as it dips down at market open. If we see that, and then it pushes up and passes through the 595 resistance level, we're going to see a long run. My only caution is that there's an announcement by Trump at 11 a.m. there's not a ton of news about what the announcement's about. It could be additional tariffs. It could be something else. And so that might have a market impact today. 11 a.m., things could be, who knows? There could be a sell-off coming up to 11 a.m., followed by the news release. Whatever that news is could cause an upward boost, could cause a downward boost. We're not quite sure. So that's something we're going to have to play by ear and just be aware of. So we might, if we place trades, we might be in and out of them before 11 a.m. Maybe even before 10 or 10:30 a.m. so that we don't catch a sell-off leading up to the announcement. Additionally, we could see some lower volatility, lower volume in the morning, which could mean greater price swings up and down, which could increase volatility, which is great for options if you're buying them. Maybe not so great if you're seated in some longer plays that are affected by the theta decay and by the volatility, but are not yet at a place where they're profitable consistently. So could be a little scary for the portfolio for a little bit today. Also, I mentioned it before, but we have talks of World War III in Europe. We have talks of more tariffs being put on different nations around the world by the U.S. And finally, once again, the secret meeting at 11 a.m. or the news release at 11 a.m. So that'll be interesting. We'll have to wait and see what that announcement's about. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts for today. And let's take a look. We're just starting out on look at the 30-minute here. This is the 30-minute on the daily chart. Let's take a step back to the week chart. Starting a big buy cycle. We just crossed over. Still got some room on the upper room on the RSI. I would love to see that dip a little bit at market and give us a better entry. Because right now we kind of are on the outside of that looking in, but I would love to be in the middle of that right now. On the day chart for the 5-minute, we've pushed through the 200 SMA, which is amazing news. That's a dynamic resistance level. As it moves along, we bump into that, we bump into that, we bump into that, bounce back down off of it. Once we finally press through it, it becomes a support level, and it's a dynamic support where from time to time we'll bounce off of it and keep going up. So I am hopeful that the correction has occurred, and barring any catalyst or news, such as the 11 a.m. announcement, whatever that might be, we could see potential bull run again. So I'm excited about that because it's so much easier to make money in a bull market. Once again, on the 1-minute, we are completely through the 200 SMA. On the 30 seconds, you can barely even see the 200 SMA. We busted through that back on the 28th. So, a lot of things to look forward to. Let's jump into the news. Alrighty, here we go. First off, SPY is trading at 594.18. SPY futures at 598, which gives me hope that we may see a 598 on the S&P futures, but we might see 598 on SPY. Due to this, look, it's already up so much. We haven't even hit a level close to that yet. If those are up that much, then we could potentially see a huge spike all the way up to here. It may not look like much, but I mean, if we look at the charts of where we're trading right now, based on where we could be, I mean, that's a $4 difference right there. That is from here all the way up here. Look at that. That's some good profit right there if we can get in at market early, or if it dips at market open and we can jump in on that. So yeah, a lot of upside here. This is good news. Let's jump into the actual headlines. Equity futures higher pre-bell Monday. This is what I'm talking about with these futures being higher at 5,989.75. That bodes really well, and we could see SPY pushing around 600, or 598 to 600. Once again, similar headline. Not sure what TLT is. Oh, never mind. I know what that is. Pretty sure that's bonds. Okay, ETFs and equity futures are higher. This is older news, though. Okay. Let's see what Webull and Google Finance has to say. Once again, things are looking really, really well. All right, tariff reality. Actually, let's jump into this article and see what it has to say about tariffs. I'm surprised it doesn't say anything about the announcement. Let's see, today is March 3rd. Let's see if we can find some information about this. Okay, actually, this is great. We were talking about rumors of World War III. Let's talk about this. Last night or yesterday, Europe held like a summit where a lot of the leaders from Germany, from some of these countries there, met in London and talked about what they're going to do with the situation in Ukraine and Zelensky. If you don't know, over the weekend, there was a Trump meeting on Friday with Zelensky. Things did not go well. Looks like there was some heated arguments and such. And yeah, it ended up with Zelensky almost... Well, I'm not exactly sure if he was kicked out of the White House. That's some of the rumors. What we do know is that he left without signing the ceasefire deal. The meeting, or the lunch with Trump and White House staff was canceled. And Trump went ahead and presented that luncheon to the staff rather than allowing Zelensky to be there. There were a lot of heated words exchanged between Vance, Trump, and Zelensky, and the long and short of it is that the United States said, hey, you're not grateful. Go fight in Ukraine by yourself and see how well that goes. You don't have the upper hand. That's what happened. Long and short of it, it was kind of a spat. So Zelensky goes to Europe and he rallies, or he gets support of some of the leaders there. And overnight, we saw several statements by UK leaders, German leaders, France, and Canada. And so kind of what we're seeing is Canada saying that there could potentially be soldiers that they send from their military to Ukraine. The UK has said that they would send, put boots on the ground and then also provide air support, planes, to Ukraine. France has reached out to the UK and said, hey, you know what? So that you're not dependent on the US for nuclear power, we're going to share some of our nuclear technology with you. And that's London or the UK, the United Kingdom and France, not Ukraine, just to be clear. And then Germany also made an appeal to European leadership to stand up, support Ukraine, and stop trying to depend on the US. And so a lot of dynamics here at play. A lot of talks of World War III. I'm not here to be political, and I'm not here to debate the good and the bad on it. I just kind of want to let you know what's going on and how it might impact the market. So that's some of the things that we're seeing here. My thoughts on it, it's hard to say. It looks like the United States is going to maintain a neutral position during this confrontations, which, once again, it's hard to say. We did that in World War II. We were pulled into the conflict there when we were bombed. Something similar could happen, or we could remain neutral for a while. It just depends. Not really sure how that's going to impact the market. Historically, we know that war has been good for the economy, that a lot of people pull together, and there's a higher loyalty and patriotic sentiment that comes out, and Americans rally. And so that could be something that brings the nation together if we were to go to war. Right now, it doesn't look like we're as much involved as some of the people there in Europe. So that's kind of the political landscape, and it's really hard to say how it's going to impact the market here. Don't know. It looks like this is some information regarding the meeting today. There was rumor of an announcement. I'm still trying to find some information on it. I don't know if it was a Twitter post, but there's a rumor that there's an announcement going to be made. We do know that tariffs are being announced today. Is it tariff announcements today? Let's see. See if we can try to find some information on this, because it could help us see if the news and such that's going to be announced at 11 a.m. is priced in or not. So it's hard to say right now. Not really finding anything about it though. So this is for Tuesday. Potential doubling of the tariffs, but this was released last week, I believe. So I think it should be priced in now that the market has had a chance to kind of react to that already. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's in the briefings. It's hard to I mean, we're not really finding anything about anything. I don't know if that's just a rumor going around or if it actually has some substantial weight, but it is something to consider. If I've heard it, others have heard it, then it could potentially have an impact on the market as others react to something that may or may not be happening. All right. Okay, so a lot going on. We're 5 minutes from market open. Let's jump right back in. Let's figure out some support and resistance levels on the week charts. I feel like we wasted. I say wasted. We wasted a little bit of time on that. Let's jump here. Let's go to maybe an hour. I think I like that. All right, high there. We have another here. We have another one a little bit lower. This was, look, it was up. Okay. That almost doesn't even count to be, I don't even think I'm going to count that one actually. All right, we have our current price over here. see. Low. And that's the lowest. Then let's see what our all-time high is. It would be right up here. If we can get up there. That's right. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a 613.23 high of the week. We've got a 582.44 low of the week. We've got a resistance level right here at we're currently at 594.72. We've got a resistance level at 598, 599.58, and a big major support's going to be this right here, which is about 595. I am going to put that one back. Here's the thoughts. We break past this, push through this 595. We're going to be golden. We don't push through the 595, we bounce back and have another correction. We've got a 582.44 bottom. We've got another support potentially at 589 or 590. I'll mark that one too. Boom, boom. Okay. Other than that, that's a big gap. That's a lot of dollars right there. Let's see, $5 $5. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how we react to it. Let's go to not the 30 seconds, the 30 minutes. See if there's anything else on here to consider. Just done there. That one was there. Okay. Yeah, hard to say. We've got good momentum, good volume. I mean, look at that spike there. 10.82 million. I'll take that. 5 million volume. Let's go to the short charts. A lot of sell-off volume here, which isn't optimal, but it's also matched pretty strongly by a lot of volume. And generally, we're going to see that sell-off immediately entering the market. It'll do a quick turnaround, and then we profit pretty well. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah, all in all, things are looking okay, decently okay. Yeah, downturn. So yeah, we should probably be good at market open. We've got 1 minute to find out. Let's take a look at the quick count. Boom, we're at 686.27. Buying power at 300. We have calls. We have calls that need to be cashed out. I think as soon as we hit market open, the calls will turn green and we'll be actually up. So we're gonna find out. Actually, I didn't want. Boom. Okay, so we got it at 20. Yeah, we just wait now. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking for a slight correction as we open the market, followed by a bull run. So let's see how we do today. Market is open. Welcome to the markets, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, immediately we jump. That's actually exciting. Probably going to go and fill that gap we've talked about when the market opens. And there's a gap to fill. Usually it'll drop down, fill this price up around here, and then continue up. So that's a good sign here. But if we jump back to our options, we should be up today. Boom, already. We're already past 700. That's pretty awesome. So we could actually potentially close those close those calls for a profit right now. But once again, I opened a call on Friday. So that's been sitting over the weekend. It's for March 31st, and it was a 610 call, I believe. But I got it at the bottom, like 585 price, so not a bad play. Plays for today. Probably just sit and wait for a minute. To be honest, Tyler, we're going to sit back, watch the market move, figure out a strong directional trend, which it looks to be up. Because even as we're sitting here watching, it's dipping a tad bit, but I mean, it looks pretty strong. Look at this momentum and stuff here. The distance between these two, like that's what, 594 to 592. That's a $2 difference. That's showing some strength. That's showing a lot of strength. Calls are going to be expensive today, but they look like they're only going to grow in value, so you could probably invest in those and make a killing. Just depends. Another option would be to wait for the bottom and then try to time a credit spread. It's another choice for you. Wow, YBTC, which is one of the holdings that I have on one of my other accounts. My. What a deal. Is up already 5% today, which is expected because of the large push on Bitcoin, as someone noted or mentioned earlier. So expected, but still it's fun to see. And we're up 16, 17, or almost 20% up on our call now. So I'm actually going to close this position over here. A different position. I'm going to keep the call open for now. Right? I had an older put that I was going to close. We're now up $42.94. Let's take a look here so y'all can see that. $47, and we're going. That call was amazing. 80 bucks. Good stuff. Good to see. We love it. And this is one of those examples of why when it's a Friday and there's things going on and we decide not to trade that Friday, but we just do a single call that's a longer call, and then all of a sudden the market opens and we have plenty of time, and we have 20 days left on that call, or 30 days left on that call. We have so much more room to make money off of it, and so that's what we were doing. I think we might even actually focus a little bit more on some of these longer plays, just because I know that some people were interested in swing trading. Others have been interested in like 30 DTE, or days to expiration plays, or 45 days with like a 21-day management. Things like maybe opening up credit spreads on the monthly chart for 45 days out, and then closing them at 21 days. That's a valid strategy, and is actually not as risky as some of the things that we've done here on the channel. But yeah, I mean, just the strength of these candles, it should be a green day today. Super excited. If you guys are new here, thank you. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by Free the Trade. If you want to give us a like, that helps spread the news about Free the Trade to a lot of other people online. And we never charge for any of our commentary. We don't charge for our articles or learning resources. It's all free. It all will stay free. At this point, it's looking like it's calls for now. So let's jump in and take a look at the calls available on SPY. Might want to enter play myself. I'm going for the 1 DTE March 4s. A good play might be like an at the money call, or slightly in the money, like a 596 maybe. We're dropping a little bit here, which once again, because we had that jump, we can expect that. But if we look at the charts again, we're probably still really, really strong on the momentum, so probably nothing to worry about. Yeah, this is the 5-minute day. This is the, well, it just switched to 5-minute, but this is the 30-minute day chart here. We may need to let that one sit before we adjust it. But yeah, right now might be a really great time to enter in. Let's take a minute at the ones. Okay, on the 30-second, we're entering a sell-off cycle on the 1 minute, we're about to enter a sell-off cycle. So what this is just an initial dip. What we can do is wait, let it dip down a little bit, let it cross over and set up for an entry, buy some calls there at that entry, and then, you know, have a great time for the rest of the day. Question coming in, do you think SPY will fall to 592-ish after a peak today? Hard to say. Personally, I'm of the opinion it pushes pretty hard. That being said, there is some tariff announcements today. There are a couple of other things to consider. I think we should be good, but depending on what that 11 a.m. announcement is, we might have some surprises. So probably a good idea to do some quick trades and then stay out of the market the rest of the day. That would probably be the best idea, to be honest. Okay, so now that we've got a dip coming in, we're just going to wait, try to find an optimal entry on the 1 minute chart. We are trading the 5 minute chart. When we trade the 5 minute chart, what we're looking for is a crossover into a green cycle, which if you look at the 30 minute, we just crossed over pretty, you know, about an hour ago or so. So that's some good news. We still want to get an optimal entry. If we try to buy right now, or earlier it was like $3.11 on these calls already, they're dropping quite a bit. And so I say they're dropping. They are dropping. Okay. So if we give it some time, they could drop and even make us more profit or fast profit, easy and fast profit. So unfortunately, that means this call is dropping too, but it's still up $44, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, now we have a boost or a gain in this profit. Could be just because of volume, because if you watch, people are buying them up like candy. That's okay. I'm going to let it sink because I think it has more downside for a minute. That is not to be confused with I think it's a red day. I don't think it's a red day today, unless the news that comes out or the announcement that comes out during Trump's address, and then whatever they're releasing at 11. I haven't been able to find anything online, but I've heard rumors on Twitter and things. But whatever they're releasing at 11 a.m., unless it's a major catalyst, I think that we see a green day. Maybe even a whole green week, which would be amazing. So yeah, as long as we can stay above the 595 levels, which is something we were concerned about breaking, I'm pretty sure we're going to be good today. That and the fact that we've pushed through the 200 SMA on almost all the charts, not this one yet, but all the others we've pushed through the SMA 200, that makes me really hopeful. It's a good thing. Got some strong momentum going on. We doing a put credit spread? We could do a put credit spread. If we wanted to do a put credit spread, we'd want to see it bounce low and maybe bounce off of... Actually, we probably would want to buy it around the 594. Somewhere. It's pretty close to where we'd want to open it, honestly. If we're being honest. We might want to let it dip into the 594. Let's take a look at the 1 minute here. All right, still entering the red. Sell cycle on the 1 minute. 30 seconds, we may be coming out of it. So this could be pretty short. Something like this or like this one here. That being said, usually we're going to see a green candle followed by a couple more red candles as we go out of these. So I would not expect to see a full trend. There we go. 2 green, 1 red. We're probably going to see the next one pop up red here. So probably a good time to hold on and wait. So that's what we'll do for now. Just because we want to get the best entries and make the most money. So there are people who make quite a bit of money who maybe open something over the weekend and hold it, or they might open something right at market open. And while you can make money there, I feel like the most consistent safe profits are by waiting and defining the different levels and then trading based off of those levels. Looking at the 30-second RSI, we are dipping quickly into the oversold levels. We're right at 50 right now, which that's actually where we need to be, but it will dip farther. Generally, when we'll see a bounce back is somewhere around the 30. Here, it was about 34. Back here, it was around 37, 38. But generally, we're going to see a bounce off this bottom level. Sometimes it might fall through the bottom level when we have a major dip. In that case, it was 23. This one over here, 23 as well. So, slight recovery level around 48. Probably need to wait another buy cycle and then another sell cycle, which is probably going to put us right around 930 again before we get the deepest dip for the day before rallying. Over here, we have a death cross on the 1 second. I'm sorry, the 30 second on the day chart. We're starting to see the formation of a death cross on the 1 minute. This isn't something to worry about too much, as we do have a strong level of support underneath with the 200 SMA, and then once again a strong level of support with the 200 SMA, also with levels of support at 593 and 593.74. So, and it looks like we've also got some at 595 now, which is actually decent. That being said, that's on the 30-second chart, which often has a lot of noise. For a stronger signal, we want to look at 1 minute or greater charts. Here we are on the 5 minute. We're starting to close that gap a little. It was $4 at open. It's now $5.93 and $5.90. Let's go back to the CNN Fear and Greed Index and check. We started at 20. We're still at 20. Put and call options are still skewed towards the extreme fear at a 0.8. Looking at 0.1 is about as far as you can go into the fear sector. Generally, when we're in a bull market, we're lower, a lot lower. Here we are on another little bit of a dip here. Excuse me. And once again, this is always expected. Whenever there's a huge price jump, we expect to see those prices fill back up before we're launching off. So, nothing unexpected here. And it looks like we're about at those levels. I'm already seeing this one on the 30-second. Look how they're starting to get closer. So they were close. They moved apart. Now they're coming back together. They'll probably meet somewhere around here, which would be a couple minutes. That's probably when we'll see this transition into a green histogram, which indicates a buying cycle. Right now, this one's behind a little bit. We haven't quite hit the death cross. We may hit a full death cross. I don't know that we will, just watching the 30-second. It'll probably get real close. It might touch and cross just a second and then uncross again. So, one thing that's really interesting to note is number one, on the SMA 200, we have a strong uptrend. That's a good thing to note. Really strong uptrend. We're trading above the SMA 200, so that's a bullish signal. As you can see with the other SMAs, they're also in quite a bit of an uptrend. They have taken a short downtrend for now. We're gonna watch that, but as you see, they're already kind of swooping back over sideways. So we'll see a little bit of sideways trading, and then once they finally recorrect, oh, and there's the death cross. We're gonna see a little bit more of a sell-off here. Hopefully, once this sell cycle finishes, it'll reciprocate over here, and then on the 5 minute, we'll enter a green. So at this time, probably best not to make a trade. It's probably better to wait until we reach the bottom, have a correction, and are starting to gain some momentum in another direction. You could potentially buy puts here or sell a call. That being said, this is already in the middle of the sell cycle. This is ending its sell cycle. We have a strong directional uptrend on the SMA 200 for the day. probably not a wise decision to trade against the trend, so I would not do it. Seeing a little bit more strength here. Looking like we might correct. It's going to push these two bars together. SMA 21 up at the top and SMA 9 here. What we're probably going to see is a golden cross appear in about 3, 2, 1. And we're closing out this sell cycle. We probably have like two more bars on the histogram before we enter a strong bull run. Already developing a trend in the right direction. Soon we're going to see this one start to close as well. Once again, we hit the 30s, 38 at this point. So we're back up to nearly 50 on the RSI. Jump back over to the 5 minute and see what's going on. I expect a red candle down here. Okay, and it looks like we're correcting. What's interesting is that we never even broke into the RSI band here, and that just tells me that the momentum for SPY today is just through the roof. Look at these levels. We were trading so far. We were trading so far below just on the 28th, which is the last. I believe it was the last trading day. Yeah, that was Friday, the last trading day. We were trading at -2. Now we're trading almost at 2.5, 2.3, 2.4. So here comes a strong directional trend up. We're going to try to attack and push through the SMA 200 probably sometime today. I would say probably around 600, maybe around this 599.58 level. It's hard to say for now. But yeah. This is starting to curve up. We're trading above it. It's looking really good for SPY right now. Back to our minute. We're seeing our first green on the histogram. About to cross over into a buy or a golden cross buy cycle. At this point, we want to get ready on the 1 minute chart to find an entry for our 5 minute chart. That being said, because there's not a strong trend on the 5 minute chart yet, we could still potentially wait for a while and let maybe a sell-off cycle come, and then as the 5 minute starts its next buy cycle, we would wait for the 1 minute to confirm and to start its own buy cycle, which would potentially increase those gains. So if I'm trading a certain chart, like today we're trading the 5 minute chart, I like to look for entry and exits on the next chart down, because they generally adjust to pricing faster. So like the 1 minute chart would be my entry for the 5 minute. If I was trading the 1 minute, which I don't do, I would probably use the 30-second. But as you can see, there's a lot of noise on this. Major sell-off coming in here. We're going to sit and wait. Once again, this will bottom out soon. I'm not sure what caused this spike in selling volume. It's okay. Alrighty. Go ahead and recover some of that. And it looks like we're being sold again. We've dropped 2 points on the fear and greed indicator. Let's jump into Yahoo Finance. Something just happened somewhere. It could be this. Futures dropped. but not by a ton. So I don't know. Also, if we were looking at this, NASDAQ also dropped. Russell still looking pretty positive, which is interesting. This is where the big money's at. This is a lot slower to move. It could potentially move, but it's a lot slower, less volatile, usually than NASDAQ or S&P 500. So I'd be interested to see if this follows SPY and the S&P, or the S&P and the NASDAQ. Because if it does, it's going to be telling as far as whether the S&P dip and the NASDAQ dip are just a temporary dip, or if they're an actual something to be concerned about. And once again, we see that this didn't waver. In fact, it's increasing. Now we're starting to see these turn around. Maybe it was a false alarm. Don't know what happened there. But look, as we're seeing, once again, big, strong buy spike here on the 30-second. So there's some early morning volatility, I guess. Although we do have some lower than normal volume too. It could be indicative of the investor sentiment and fear. Not too terribly low though. Forex Factory final manufacturing PMI. This was 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I saw it was released on Reuters about 12 minutes ago. But once again, what's really interesting... Oh, and now Russell is starting to turn around too. It could actually be... This could be a hint at a major slowdown in our momentum. We could start to see another dip. Good morning. Hello, hello. That's okay. We're going to sit back and watch again for a little while. Hopefully... things will still turn around because we have a lot of strength and momentum in the stock market right now as we're recovering from that dip, so that might just be a minor setback. And yes, it looks like coming in 5 minutes. Okay, that's good information to know. Here we go. We're gaining some more strength and recovering literally everything, well, most of everything that we lost during that small dip. But I think this is a really good way to illustrate how, you know, we're looking at, we're technical traders right now. We're looking at a chart and we're making judgments and we're making predictions based on historical data and what's going on. However, when there's something out of the ordinary and we recognize it, we can immediately go to the news or go to Twitter or go to some of these other places and find out why. So these aren't just, you know, random. They're associated with two things. They're associated with investor sentiment, which is why we use this, which actually has, wow, it has gone up from 18 all the way to 32, a major jump. That's amazing news, by the way. Super bullish. So it's made a huge jump, and yeah, you can see that this is tied to the investor sentiment and then also to market news events and stuff. So definitely looking to see an afternoon run. Man, that's almost doubled. It's crazy. This actually might be setting up perfectly for some people here. We're going to enter into a little red sell-off sell cycle. Looks like our 30-minute is going to start to close here. This could be a really, really great setup for some cheap calls that just absolutely print later in the week or even later in the day. Well, this is really interesting though, because remember we were talking about World War III, and which of the countries were pushing for boots on the ground and for fighting in the UK in the Russia war? Germany, France, the UK, and Canada. And what we're seeing is that there is a manufacturing recession, that the PMI for the manufacturing industries in all four of these countries are failing. And you know what helps? You know what helps the manufacturing industries in a country is if they go to war and they have to start manufacturing weapons, ammunition, tanks, and things like that. That's kind of what we saw in the United States back in World War II. So a major push in manufacturing due to World War II, and then it turned into this major technology increase and this major industry increase in the manufacturing industry particularly. But war makes people rich, unfortunately, if they're the ones who win. And so you have to, I'm not trying to be political, but sometimes you have to wonder if some of these leaders are seeing the economic struggles that they're having and being like, hey, manufacturing is going down. What if we went to war? It would rally our people, and we'd start to see, we might see economic growth in our manufacturing industries. Why do you think it happened, that jump? The jump? I personally think the United States are sitting back and watching. I think there's two things, really. I think, number one, the United States investors are sitting back and watching, oh, snaps, we're staying out of the war. That means we're not going to have the initial financial struggles and stuff. We're not supporting Ukraine frivolously anymore, which I'm not trying to choose a side here. I'm just saying the United States said, hey, we're not going to send money. So European leaders were responding and saying, hey, well, we will send money and troops and planes. And so you already saw, 20 billion raised overnight for Ukraine. Be that as it may, I think there's a sentiment jump for defense stocks and stuff. You can see right here, European defense stocks hit record high after Trump and Zelensky's disastrous meeting. You've seen Germany, France, UK, and Canada all making statements yesterday that they would support UK even if it meant putting boots on the ground. France mentioned that they would start trying to transition the UK, or help the UK transition from relying on the United States for nuclear power to maybe developing their own nuclear or relying on France for nuclear power. You saw Germany saying, hey, Europe needs to stand up and defend themselves and fund the war in Ukraine, basically. And it's really interesting to see that all four of those are having problems. I don't know. It just makes you wonder. I'm not trying to start anything. I'm not trying to be political. Really high volume candle. This one here at open. That was like the right before opening. Probably, it's hard to say. I don't know. I don't know. I imagine it was a jump in sentiment. I was honestly expecting a pretty large increase in sentiment, because despite what the news media and stuff has pushed, the reality is, like, the average American 1 minute chart. Or look at the 1 minute. So this sell off, 9 o'clock. I imagine that was due to. Was it you who mentioned that there was going to be some more data released? And that was about 8:53. So that would have been the 5 minutes. So it was probably related to that. They probably didn't do well. We were just reading. Let's see. It's hard to say. But we are starting to see a drop now on all three of these. That can be a little concerning. It might slow some of our momentum for the day. Just depends. Wow, look at Intel. I just saw this. They've been going, they're up a lot today. That's crazy. They're finally making some moves. Nvidia is down 21%. Oh wait, is that no? Okay, let me correct that. Nvidia is down almost 5%. I saw that, and when I scrolled up, I was like, oh wow, that is not true. Nvidia is only down about 5%, 4.5. Where you're seeing a drop. Seeing a drop on the futures charts. Pretty large drop. That's okay. We're starting to come out of the red sell cycles of the 1 and the 1 minute chart. We're going to want to start looking for a setup on the 5 minute. As you can see here on the 5 minute, we have bounced off of the SMA 200. We're still in a strong upward trend. This is still trading sideways pretty strongly. Slightly down, but it seems to kind of be leveling out, especially if you look at it compared to the last little bit. This doesn't look so bad. It's got a little bit of a curve sideways and up, so I'm not too worried right now. I would say that we may not be making a trade today, just based on the so many news catalysts and stuff. We may not be making a trade. It's hard to say. We may have to wait to the afternoon. We don't know. That's the problem with some of these news events. You can't just rely on the technical trading. You have to understand the why and kind of take a look into some things behind it that are impacting the stock market. So And here we go. Looks like we're heading for a golden cross. Sure. Okay, so basically a 45 DTE, 21 DTE credit spread strategy. It's named that way because there's two levels that you're looking at. The first is 45 days to expiration. You're going to open a credit spread. At 21 days to expiration, you're going to manage that credit spread, and you're either going to make the decision to move the strike prices out farther, or you're going to close it for a profit then. You profit off of about 20 days, 24 days of theta decay. However, it's less risky than... oh, and here we go. Looks like we have our golden cross here on the 30-second, which is transitioning to a buy cycle on the 1 minute. So it's going to have extra strength. See how that's impacting the 5 minute. We just crossed over into a sell-off cycle. It could potentially pull us out of that and maybe give us another run up. But back to the 45. Okay. So here's how you'd set one up. You'd go out 45 days, which would be Thursday, April 17th. You would look at like a 3-month. And when I look at the 3-month, I like to look at the 4-hour or the 1 day. Actually, I think usually I do 1 day. I usually do the 4-hour on the month. Boom. Here we go. We've got levels. Once again, low of 575, high of 613. So we could go over here to 575. Honestly, you could just figure out which one you're closer to, or 613. Let's see, maybe put something in around 580. Maybe be watching for like a 610. And basically you're just going to do like a... Let's see. Oops. Just going to open up a call credit spread for far out. Let's just do a... I don't know, like a 30 delta or so. Let's let it refresh here. Yeah, we just kind of need to watch the market right now. Right now I'm explaining the 45 to 21 DTE. So okay, here we go. Boom. And we could go and do like a 580 put credit spread, where we would sell at 909 and buy at 889 for 45 days out. The difference in that is going to be our profit. We would wait 24 days when it was now 21 days to expiration. We would go in and take a look at that. Generally, you're going to be in the profit if SPY hasn't made a major move outside those lines, which SPY probably is not going to do that. You can close then, or you could maybe change the strike prices and adjust it wider if it's lower. You could maybe drop the bottom one lower if it's getting too close for comfort. Oh, there's a lot of things you can do. But basically, it's just opening a credit spread 45 days out and then closing it 21 days out, or managing it 21 days out. So hopefully that answers your question. Jumping back here, we are down $68. I don't know if you saw that. That's okay. We've had a major dip. That's okay. I'm not too worried. That call is for March 31st. That's a good almost 28 days out, 27 days out. Here we go, bouncing off the 200 SMA again. It's the 30-second going into another green cycle. We still are pushing down quite a bit. We might see another little sell-off here. It's hard to say. This is really noisy. Hard to say what might happen here. Glad to hear it, Roger. Glad that helps out. If you have any other questions, feel free to post them or ask them either here while we're live or in the Discord. If you're in that, you can post them. And we'll be happy to answer them there too. Here we go. 9 is still below. Still waiting to get through that and push into the golden cross. And it looks like it might be doing that in just a minute or two. So going back to the 5 minute, let's see what we're doing here. Because the last thing I want to do is enter too soon, and then we see a deep red cycle or sell cycle that turns into another buy cycle later, like maybe over here. And if we had just waited, you know, 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so, then we see this green cycle starting, and then we look at the 1 minute and we see a gold cross, and that would be a terrible thing to trade right now and then miss that, because that is coming. Promise. It's coming. Just not yet. Yeah, that's generally the play, is calls, because it'll generally be calls will be at their cheapest for a minute, and then the golden cross indicates a bull run, especially if it's matched by the entry levels on the well, first of all, if it's bouncing off a support like right here, we could have bought calls here because we know the support is this dynamic SMA 2200. So we could have bought calls, you know, like for 592, and we would be up on those. It's just a short little trade, but it could have been profitable. But if we watch, we're getting really close together. RSI is just going back and forth, What we're seeing is this sideways trading right now. If we give it some more time, it'll bounce again, and probably, let me see. Let's look at the 5 minute. We're at the beginning of this sell-off cycle, so it's going to trade sideways since we have a pretty strong trend and we have this protection, this dynamic support level. So it's going to trade back and forth off of this for a little bit, but once we enter the green on the 5 minute, it's going to bounce back off that off that support level, and it's gonna go through the roof. So if we can wait until that happens and then time our entry based on the 1 minute, we'll catch a lot stronger of a move, and we'll probably make more. As you can see, it's still trading very much sideways. So we want to wait for it to get to its extreme levels so that it can push off stronger. So instead of waiting for, like, say, buying here and selling here, which is a really short trade, what we want to do is wait until we're buying here and selling way up here. Does that make sense? Because if we buy here, yeah, it dipped, and we can make a little bit of profit. But if we just wait a little bit longer and don't sell, then our profit turns to negative. We're losing money. And then if we buy here, we have to wait quite a bit longer. Or if we bought here and we wait through all this, we're losing money to theta decay, and then potentially getting scared and paper handing and closing our positions at a loss. Which I believe I probably closed a position at a loss this morning, but that's okay. I had intended to close it on Friday and didn't. Here we go. Once again, we're getting to these lower levels. Now this is what we're looking for. The big bounce off of this one. We had the big run. Now we have the drop. We're looking for the big bounce off this level. And when we find that, it's going to be the best time. It's probably going to be 15 minutes or so. Yeah. Because we could potentially see a shorter candle, shorter candle, shorter candle. And these are 5-minute candles, so each candle stands for 5 minutes. So 3 more candles would be 15 minutes. Which we could look here and see what the 15-minute chart is doing. Yeah, so they're ending a buy cycle here on the 15. It sounds reasonable to think that we'd... Yeah, it sounds reasonable. I mean, we closed this one, started in the middle, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, which 5 times 5 is 25 minutes. Alrighty, if you're just joining us, make sure you do like the video or the live stream. This really is going to help us out. as a community by putting us in front of more people, getting more viewers, and just helping us to get the word about our free resources at freethetrade.com. We aren't selling anything. We're just providing free resources. I'm surprised this actually hasn't dropped more. I believe it hit 32 and then it stopped at 32 for a minute. It's dropped 2, but I'm surprised it hasn't dropped more. I'm seeing a trend here that things are turning and looking up. So I definitely am expecting an afternoon run, but it would be nice to see it would be nice to see it hit earlier in the day. This would probably be a really good time to be trading, like Forex or something. Like you could buy in right here. Strong trade up. I like that term. That's funny. Fainting goat investors. If there's any more news coming in. This might be some interesting or bullish sentiment for chip. I believe it's the Taiwanese chip industry. Here you go. U.S. manufacturing stable. Interesting stuff. And here we go. Looks like a pretty strong trend on the 30 and the 1. I imagine we'll start to see the golden cross here soon. We're already seeing lower volume here on histogram. It looks like it could potentially be lower volume. About equal. This could be the bounce we were looking for. I'm actually going to take a look at some of the call options available on SPY. Yeah. Why are we so far out? There we go. NDT. What are we looking at now? Had to leave for a bit. Okay. Yeah. So the U.S. factories are doing great. European ones are not doing so well. We're looking at some strength on the 1 second. I'm sorry, the 30-second daily and the 1 minute daily. Let's go ahead, adjust those. What we're waiting for is this 5-minute chart. We want to make sure that this right here is decreasing. Looks like it is. We want to see the crossover here, and then at the crossover here, we're going to go to the 1 minute. We're going to choose our entry price level, which I think we're right near it already. So I might even just go ahead and do a tad bit of an early entry, because once that 5 minute switches over into the buy cycle with the strength of the 1 minute, we're going to see this rocketing green candle just going way up. So I want to time my calls for right behind that, or right before that candle. So short sell-off cycle here on the 5 minute. We wait about, I say, probably 10 minutes, and we'll see it. We'll see it cross. Then we're gonna enter, and we're gonna take advantage of some of these candles. Right here, this is kind of a bull trap. We got a strong green candle. Yes, it's a 3 candle trend, but this is a doji candle, so we're gonna not even count that one. This one is just a limited kind of a middle, and it's in the middle of the red histogram, so I don't know that I would count that one. This one is really strong, but I think we're going to see red right after it, and if we wait for the red that comes right after it, something like this, we see a big strong one, then a drop, we can buy it at a lower closing price, and then we can get ready for the run going up. So this is what I think we're about to see. A couple of red, and then another trend up. So personally, I want to wait for those red. Buy low and sell high. Hopefully we get a red, though. If we don't get a red, then you might just have to bite the bullet and buy a little bit more expensive an option, because we do know that it is going to go up. So I'm not too concerned about that. Probably just entered our golden cross on the 1 minute. Let's take a look. There we go. We have just entered a golden cross on the 1 minute. We have a slight sell-off here, though. So, and it's not a strong buy cycle, so I might actually wait until the next. Will I enter a trade with us? Yes, I'm going to do a level 1 trade. I'm buying a long call today, probably. I say long call. I'm buying a naked call, probably 1 DTE, and right now I'm just looking for an entry on it. So here we go. We're going to see this probably flip back over, but this is what I was talking about, the slight sell-off. It's going to drop our prices just a tad, hopefully. And I'm probably just going to buy something real close. Let's see. I don't even know that I'm going to look at Delta too much. Let's see Gamma, though. Ooh, this one actually might be a good one right here. I don't know. I'm looking at these two right here. The 597 and the 598 strikes are looking really good to me right now. I think I'm going to go with the 597. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy this one, and it's already going up. It's already up like $12, $15. I might have missed our entry. Hang on. Not quite there yet. I think we have. Ah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Hard to say. Hard to say. I think there's a stronger trend. We just need to wait for it. Yeah, I think we wait out one more cycle. Call credit spread at the moment? No, I'm just doing a single call. For you guys, you might consider, if you're going to do the spread, you might consider a put credit spread at like, let's see, where did we hit today? At like a 590 or maybe a 591. And you would do a put credit spread, not a call credit spread. Okay, so I was not wrong, I don't think. I think we're gonna wait for the next one, just because. Oh no, I just want to make sure we get a good entry here. There it is. There's a little bit of a dip. And we're closing down on this buy cycle here, so I think we're gonna get a better entry. I think we hold off for a minute. Yeah, we're starting to get a better entry. See? Patience, guys, patience. I wanted to buy in, I did not buy in. Now we've got 174. When we were previously at 178, we're at 170. We're back to 169. Boom, 168. 67. And it's starting to recover a little bit, which is a little nerve-wracking. We're gonna watch the charts. They aren't gonna light up. And there comes the candle, and we're back up to 180. So I probably should have entered a limit order there. Watch this just for a little bit longer. Okay, I'm buying. I buy it. I buyed. One SPY call, 597. I'm gonna let it run. I'm only looking for like a 10 to 20% profit off of this call, though. I'm not looking for a long run. I'm not looking to hold for a ton. Do we buy a little high? Probably. That's okay. It should be okay. I bought at 189. Let's see. Probably want to sell it for like 226 if I can, hopefully. I don't want to be greedy though. Let's go ahead and put in a close order on this one. I'm going to set it out for 2.17%, which is like about a 15% gain. And we're just going to sell and let it sit there, and hopefully it hits that. We'll wait and see. If we do, that's going to be, let's see, about a $30 gain, which isn't terrible for one contract. $30 gains. Safe money. Mostly. I mean, it's a 1 DTE day trade. This is making me a little nervous, but I think it's we're just waiting for this sell-off cycle. So I probably should have waited a little bit longer, but I got a little antsy, but I think we're going to be okay still. Going back to the 30 and the 1 minute. Let's take a look. A little bit of a sell-off cycle. So yeah, we probably should have waited until this next one, but we entered in. So here we go. I mean, I guess we could potentially profit off of a put when this crosses too. 591 put credit spread still recommended. Yeah, I would say so. We've bounced off of this level here, the 591.61 and the 591.45. We haven't really gone below that since this. There's no way that was March 3rd. Push down to, yeah, we've only gone past it once, and it was like a barely. We hit 590.71. I don't know, 591 or 590. Still recommended. I just entered a trade. I entered it a little early here, as we're seeing. That's unfortunate, but I'm gonna hang out in it for a little bit because I did a 1 DTE, not a 0 DTE. I have a little bit more time, so I think we'll be okay on that. And we're basically trading this 5-minute chart. So what we're expecting is this red sell-off cycle to close, and then we're expecting it to run a little bit more, and that's kind of why I bought that call. In the meantime, though, we are seeing a tad bit of a sell-off. I could buy a put right now to offset it, close my put before it turns back around, and then when it turns back around, I'll have gained a little bit extra. I do have some extra cash if I wanted to do that. Let's see what we have here. I don't know if we have enough, though, because we just spent a good bit. We've got a sell cycle appearing right here. Let's see. Let's do it. You know what? Let's do it. YOLO, right? Let's do it. Let's do an opposite trade just to do that. Okay. And what we're doing is a 1 minute, 1 day. We're crossing over. Let's hurry quickly find one of these. I'm gonna find something out a little bit more. Buy a put. I don't have a ton of time here, so I'm just going to grab something like... Oh, they're already going up way fast. See, how much do we have? Do we have enough for this one? We do not. Oh no, by 1 cent. Okay, let's see. What if we can do like a... Can we do that? Is this a wise choice? We're gonna find out. Let's take a look. Yeah, it was a wise choice. Look, we would be up 20 bucks right now. I just didn't get it in time. Unfortunate. That's all right. Now would be the perfect time to enter those calls. Do we still have time? Let's see. I think we have time. I can't do this one though. Cancel. Yeah. I don't have enough money, so I'm not going to do anything right now. We could potentially double down on this one. Maybe buy this one. This is the dip that we should have bought on. Now we're starting to see a turnaround. Unfortunately, we bought too soon. I want to buy another one though. Guess here we go. We should be going up on the 5 minute. And we are now up 17% on that call option we opened. Let's see. Recent orders. Okay, here we go. So here we go. This is the one we just opened. It's up $18 already. That was a good play. This one, because we entered it too early, is still down. So we're going to have to wait to get out of that one. But this one's up 15%, which is nearly our profit, big profit level. So I might actually just take profit on this one. I probably should just do it instead of just call to fill the gap. Yeah, call to fill the gap. We can. It's really hard to trade while also like discussing your plays out loud and stuff for me, because I tend to slow down a little bit. Rather than entering, I want to talk and say, hey, I'm about to enter a trade. And I'm doing that just so I can help you guys out. But on stuff like this, sometimes you have to be really quick when you're day trading. And so I'm watching for about a 15% gain, which I actually need to do the math on this and figure it out and set that up. So I got a 117 entry level. A 20% would be like a 1.4. So if I can sell it for a 1.4, I would do that. Let's close and see if we can do that. Boom. Closed. Let's see if it hits. There it is. It hit. It is always better to talk than to dive in. Potentially. We just made 15% gains though, so That was cool. I mean, that's a 20% gain on that order or that position. We entered a little too early on the first one. We made, I mean, we're still kind of break even on it, down 17%, but we have a long call for 331, which is hitting. It's only $2 down. And then our 597 for yesterday is only $13 down. There's plenty of time for that, or for tomorrow is only $12 down. We have plenty of time for that to hit. So boom, we're in the green on our 610 now, up $2. So now we're only down $5 for the day. Should be. It's just taking a second to update. Now we're up 4. I feel like we're strong. Yeah, I would take your profits out if you're doing short-term plays like that. Now we're down 20 cents for the day. Just updated to $7.20, $2.20. I think we did strong plays. We just entered this 597 a little bit early. So it's just taking a second for that one to hit. I mean, I guess I could take that one out. Get rid of it. I don't know. We're in the green on all of them now. There you go. Love to see it. I already have a close order for this one to set at like a 15% profit, I think. So we're just going to hold on it. Your 597 is at 10%. That's awesome. Mine is at 1%. So I have like a 10 to 15% profit level that I'm going to take out. I think we hit. I think we did good. We just got to wait for the profit levels. Yep, look at this, guys. We're doing pretty good. I think we're doing all right. We're about to hit green on the 5-minute. That's when those calls are going to take off a little bit more, and I think we'll be solid. I don't know that we're going to have a longer run than that, but that's a quick little day trade with just one leg calls. We did another little put in there to grab some money back too, but I don't know. We did like 3 trades today. I'm up 10% on my 597. $11.11%. We're going to see it close in just a second if we have another little boost. Honestly, I might even let it run, because we already hedged that off with that play with the puts. So let me replace the order here. Okay, I canceled my order to sell, and we're just going to watch, because I don't want to exit too soon either. So going back to our 1 minute, I'm going to watch for an exit on the 1 minute now. Okay. SMA 921. All right, so what's going on here? We didn't actually close. Now I'm going to wait for these to go across and they come back down to close. So yeah, we're not in a close. We haven't hit our death cross yet. So I'm going to wait to the death cross to close. And we're just going to see, and already we're up $15 more. That was a good call, I think. I think that was a really good call. Starting to drop a little here. We're going to wait. It's not a close yet, so it'll have a little bit more of an upside. But I'm starting to think like a 215 maybe. We don't want to turn a gain into a loss. That's one thing. All right, we've got a 2 candle. Do we have another cycle in us? I think so. It's just edging at this point, you know, getting us closer and closer to the edge of the cliff. Hopefully it goes off of it though, in the right direction. We're still increasing in volume on the green histogram. At this point, it has gone negative, so update for Reddit today. I can have some good news that you can put in it. All right, hey, post it in the Discord, and we'll definitely put it in there. We need to give him a new update. I've had a couple people reach out and ask about it, so we need to make a good position today. I mean, we're up a little bit. Let's see. $40.80 up on our highest, so that's good news. I'm going to hold off on that. Hold off on closing that call. I'm going to let it run a tad longer. And then I have the 331 call too. So exciting market moves. And I hate to make fun or make memes about world events, but I don't know. It's a crazy world that we're living in right now. Yeah, it's really crazy right now. Five minutes looking a little sad, so might close out of our calls and stuff here. We've pushed below the SMAs up here on the 1 minute, going into the red. What strike was my 331? It was a 610, 331 610, but I opened it when SPY was at like 856, and so I've gone into profit on it like 4 times, and I haven't sold it yet. I'm okay with holding it because I've got a lot of time left. 610 call. I bought it for 342. It's currently trading probably around 342. Let's go look. And of course, it's not going to show on here. Okay, let's open a little more. And still not there. Okay. Whoops. All right, finally, here we go. So it's trading around $3.10. I opened it around 342, so that means I'm down a bit. Not too terribly worried about it. I think we get real close to it, and I mean, I've already on stream. You've seen it hit and profit a couple times. I am watching this guy right here, though. I don't want to lose too much on it. If it goes any more or much more negative, then I might close that one just because we made a $30 gain. We don't want to erase a whole $30 gain too. Let's take a look. 5 minutes. Okay, I think we're okay. Take a look at 1 and 30. Yeah, I think we'll be okay, and we'll be back in profit. And I'm going to close it on this next cycle. So we are dipping. Yeah, a little bit. Not terribly worried, though. I keep hitting into profit. I've been up 40% on that call. If it goes up to like 597, I'm up like $300 on that call, and so I'm okay with that. I really watching this one closely though. I need to manage my positions here. Alrighty. I'm down $25 on this call. I'm just going to monitor and consider closing it if we lose much more. Okay, it's actually going up though, so that's a good news. Down 20. And we're entering a buy cycle. That's good news. Okay, so I think we probably will see profit here shortly, and I'm going to close it either way. All right, we're down 15, so we've gained $10. Down 14 now, so we're gaining still. Yeah, and that's kind of why I left it open, because I saw the same thing. I was like, I think this has a little bit more upside to it, but we're going to have to wait through another buy and sell cycle. So I was like, I'm okay with that. Probably should have closed it when I was 10% profit or 15% profit, but I'm greedy, so I didn't. But I also am pretty confident in this, and I'm not too worried about it. So I'm okay with losing a little bit on this. It hasn't hit my stop losses yet, so we're good. It was close. It was honestly, it was like $1 off my stop loss at one point, which was about $30. So I was watching it closely, but now we're halfway to where we want to be. $12 down, heading up. Monitoring. Here we go. We're about to enter the buy cycle on the 30-second chart. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the buy cycle. Now we're down $7. That means we've gained a whole 20-something bucks today. Down $6. Here it comes. Okay, come on. Turn around. And we just gotta wait for the 1-minute chart to catch up. So I think we'll be all right though. Little bit of a death cross showing up on the 1 minute, which is not ideal, but we're also heading into a buy cycle. So we'll see a little bit of profit before we dive. So definitely need to get out of this position now. It's too short. Not a great hold for now. But we are setting up for a double buy cycle on the 30-second and the 1 minute. So I want to watch closely, and if we do get that double crossover on the MACDs on those charts, then I want to exit, even if it's at a small loss, because it's going to be at a lesser loss than if I had closed it earlier. So, but I'm definitely closing on this next buy cycle. All right, and actually we're going to close it now. There it goes, and it's filled. Unfortunate. We let that one run a little bit longer than we should have, and we paid the price for it, which was about 20 bucks. That's okay. It might rip later in the afternoon. If so, we can close our call for 331 if it's enough profit for us. Or if not, we'll just let it sit and we will trade again tomorrow. But we did make a little bit of gains on there before losing it again because we got greedy. That's a good lesson, I guess, to not be greedy. Take your profits when you get them. 10%, 15% profits are better than turning it into a loss. So, and yeah, we probably could have waited and turned it out, turned that trade around. But we hit our stop profit, our stop loss, and so it's better to close at your stop loss and just maintain the discipline of yeah. It's good to hear, Liam. I'm glad you got some gains, guys. We did make some gains ourselves. Fortunately, we got greedy on the last one. That's okay. We honored our stop losses, and next time we won't be greedy. And it looks like it was a good thing too, because look, now we're dipping. So, yeah, had we waited and held a little longer, would have been real bad. We'd be down a lot right now. Alrighty. Well, I don't know that there's much else going on here. Oh, you did a credit spread. What strike price did you do at? And was it a put credit spread or a call credit spread? Because right now your credit spread is probably increasing in value, which is not a good thing. But here's the thing. You're still in the money, and if you hold that, you're going to be fine because theta decay is going to be working in your favor. So 590 and 591. Oh, yeah, you're fine. You're totally fine. See, let me show you why. That's 591. This is 591.46. You open this out way down here. Okay? So you're in the good. You're in the green. You're going to be fine. As the price gets closer and closer to these levels, the premium increases on those options. However, if it doesn't go past that, in the end, theta decay will eat up all of the cost of that premium, and you'll actually win in the long run. Because this, you see this 200 SMA here? It's coming up closer and closer. It's past 90 already. This acts as a bottom support level for you. And so generally what happens is this is going to bounce off. And if it's going up like this angle, and it's bouncing, pretty soon, we're going to be past the 591, and you're going to be perfectly fine. As long as there's no catalyst that pushes it through. So you're probably going to be fine. So I wouldn't close them. I wouldn't close them until you are, until the price passes down below your break even. Yeah. Because credit spreads are different. When you buy premium, you have to race against time because you're losing value. Your stock shares are losing value the whole time. When you sell, it gains value the longer you hold it, so you make more. I say it gains value. It doesn't gain value, but it depreciates in value, and so you're able to buy it back for cheaper. And so because of that, and you getting your profit up front, it takes less of your profit away to close that position. So on credit spreads, you should hold it for as long as you can, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. I don't know that there's really much else to do today. I mean, slow day. I would be, you might consider closing them, Danny, honestly, if you're in the money before 11 o'clock, because there is supposed to be an announcement today. And we think it's related to tariffs. We don't know for sure. Something to consider. Could be some bad news. If it causes the stock market to dip, you don't want to lose. I mean, it could go below the 590, 590, which would be your near your break even. So the other thing to do would be just to not trade on days like this. But are you kidding me? We like to trade. We love trading. So taking a look at the 5 minute here, still dipping quite a bit on here. Well, it is 10 o'clock. We've made our trades for the day. We're out of our trades for the day, most of us. I'm going to open it up for some questions. We'll talk through your questions, maybe look at a couple different tickers or something if you want us to. And then, yeah, I think we're going to call it a day. We might even end it a little early today. Any questions here? We still are increasing on the fear and greed index, which is good. We started at 18 this morning. We're now up 31. That's a large increase in investor sentiment. So I think we're going to see some better days this week, which is amazing. I do want to take a look at what Wall Street Bets is up to. There's some interesting people out there. So, let's see. r/Wall Street Bets. Okay. Tesla's recovering. Nvidia's down, which we saw that earlier. Lunar's down. That's an interesting one. Didn't expect that. And we just lost data on SPY. What happened? We crashed so hard we broke Wall Street. Wall Street Bets. We're back. Okay. This guy's talking about buying the dip on Nvidia. I actually personally... You're welcome, CEO. I personally agree with this sentiment. I mean, let's take a look at Nvidia real quick. I mean, look at this. We're under the 200 SMA. We've been under it for so long. We're bouncing off this. Yes, it's in a downtrend, but the average or the fair value price of this stock is at, I think it's 130. It's either 130 or 125. Either way, 118 is ridiculously underpriced for this stock. That's a good thing because it's a strong company. It's one of the Magnificent Seven. So I agree with that sentiment. If you're not buying Nvidia right now, you're going to miss out on some opportunities to make some good profits later. Like, it's so cheap. It's dirt cheap. It's crazy because I totally see Nvidia going up 130, 150 easily, and no one's talking about it. It's so cheap right now, and it's very underpriced. So, not investment advice, but at the same time, that's something to consider. So this guy, he's 100%. It's 100% in the right here. Let's see. What's the investment announcement going to be? Oh, did someone decide to... Is Reddit buying TikTok? Okay, well, I don't know. It's an interesting day. I think Nvidia's a buy. SPY is always a buy. Tesla's also interesting. I think I would prefer Nvidia over Tesla right now, just because I feel like Tesla. Tesla's trading almost. I think fair value for Tesla is around $250 a share, and it's trading over that. Nvidia is trading underneath its fair value price. So I don't hate Tesla, and I'm not against anybody who does like Tesla or who doesn't like Tesla. Not against. I'm just saying. I personally believe that the $250 per share is a good fair value price for Tesla, and right now it's at $297, which is nearly $50 per share more expensive than it should be. And so, I think the Tesla correction's overdue, and yeah, I think we'll see it drop to 250 or thereabouts, or maybe even a little under. I might buy in it myself after that. Nvidia. What a great price to enter. Phenomenal price. This is going to be a little bit of a longer term hold, though. I mean, it's already gaining right now. Like it could gain this afternoon, push through that 200 SMA. I am interested to see if it bounces off the 200 SMA or if it continues to go up, though. That's going to be interesting. Interesting to see. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Looking at 2-year NVIDIA Leap. There you go. Actually, that's a really, really good idea, CEO. For those of you who don't know, a leap option is a call option generally, and that's longer than 1 year out. A 2-year leap option on Nvidia at say like 120 or anything is out of the money technically, so it's going to be a little bit cheaper long term. However, in the event that Nvidia passes 120 within the next 2 years, which is, I mean, the probability of that is just astounding. That option is just going to increase in value, and just continue. And so you can close it at like a year of opening it, or you can hold it for maybe a year and a half and even get a little more gains. But when I do leap options, generally I like to close them like halfway. So hold it for more than a year and then close it sometime around that, or maybe close it around the, I don't know, the 45 DTE or 50 DTE. Just depends. It depends on what the stock's doing, what the market's doing, and yeah, we just hit looks like a golden cross on Nvidia on the 1 minute. Here we go. What a fun day. And we're about to hit. This might be a perfect, if you want to make another trade today, see if what type of call options are available for Nvidia. You could potentially make some on Nvidia. It only has 4 days. I don't have enough cash balance right now to do that because my trades are settling. You have $323 in cash. I don't want get 4. Okay. I mean, what's the 30 delta? Yeah, your 30 delta is going to be this right here, $150, 124. You buy that, and you're looking at a potential profit. over the next couple of days. I'm not buying in right now, just because I don't have buying power, and because this is a SPY challenge, so I trade SPY on this account. That's all I have for today. Once again, about 15 minutes till the end of the stream. I think we're going to go ahead and close it a little early if nobody else has any questions. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Free the Trade. I'm the host, DK305007, and we appreciate you for tuning in, being part of the community, and then helping us to have such an awesome community. Great days of trading. Congratulations on the gains, and we'll see you next time on Free the Trade.